Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. As you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we are once again, and for the first time in a while, going to be talking about Andrew Torba, the CEO of Gab. But before we start talking about Andrew Torba and his shenanigans, I would like to bring something to your attention. In case you did not notice it before, my first Christian metal album is out and available on the official TTOR website. As you can see right here on the screen, there's an official page for my album called Citizens of Heaven. And as you can see from scrolling down, you can listen to, from the website, each of the songs in the album. Now, I currently don't have a way for people to download the album, but I am working on that. And if you're interested in listening to a soft Christian metal album that isn't too wild and crazy, and some of the songs could even pass as worship songs, then I would encourage you to check out my album, which the link to that will be in the description box below. My website URL is ttor.site. The URL for this album is ttor.site/citizens-of-heaven. And you can listen to the album for yourself. I'm also currently working on putting together a brand new Christian metal album that is actually almost done. It's just a matter of making cover art, CD art, and doing a bunch of stuff for protection reasons. But this new album that's coming out will make Citizens of Heaven look like trash, because it's an album that's using a better music generating AI, and also it's a combination of hardcore metal, metalcore metal, death metal, and nu metal. And by nu metal, I mean NU. So yeah, that's coming up real soon. And when that thing drops, you guys are going to be amazed. But getting back to the subject of today's video, Andrew Torba, on October 16th, 2025, dropped an article on the Gab News website titled, "We Are Not Conservatives." And in this article, we're going to see that Andrew Torba accuses Babylon Bee founder Seth Dillon of being woke left. That is not an exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to scroll down deep into the article, and we're going to start right here where Andrew Torba writes the following. Now, I know what the gatekeepers of the acceptable right are going to say next. We've all seen their talking points recycled with nervous certainty. Let's take Seth Dillon, for example, who recently tried to lecture the movement with this warning. And this is a quote of a Seth Dillon tweet that I personally saw, so I know it's legitimate. "No enemies to the right isn't a strategy for beating the left. It's a strategy for letting bad actors with bad ideas gain control of the movement unopposed. The left is in retreat right now precisely because they gave the reins to their radicals. You'd have to be insane to copy them. You don't win by refusing treatment when you have cancer. It just spreads, often very quickly, and then you die. He's right about one thing. You don't ignore cancer. You identify it, and you cut it out ruthlessly and completely before it kills the host. His diagnosis, however, is a catastrophic failure of vision, a willful blindness that has defined the controlled opposition for decades. He points his finger at the men with fire in their bellies, the ones who speak the uncomfortable truths and refuse to bow to the dying consensus, and he calls them the disease. Well, that's because they are a spiritual disease, Andrew Torba. You and your Christian nationalists, the ones with the fire in your bellies speaking the uncomfortable truths, you guys are rank heretics in more ways than one. You guys are infected with the Christian nationalism mind virus, which is basically the right-wing version of the woke mind virus. And as you can see on screen, I already have a growing playlist called Christian Nationalism, Mind Virus Exposed. And Andrew Torba is the subject of a few of these videos already. I have a couple videos responding to his book on Christian nationalism. And I also have a video about him promoting replacement theology, which is one of the heresies that is the core foundation of Christian nationalism. And then we have videos where I expose Joshua Haynes for promoting postmillennialism theology, and exposing Mark Dice for also promoting replacement theology, exposing Mike Adams, exposing Tucker Carlson, exposing Steven Anderson, exposing Joshua Haynes again, exposing Matt Walsh for saying that we need to unite with these turds, exposing people in the woke right for attempting to cancel Babylon Bee founder Seth Dillon, and another video on Tucker Carlson. And today's video is just going to be added to that list. But in case you're wondering if Andrew Torba believes in and promotes replacement theology and postmillennialism theology, which is also called dominion theology, not only is there a video about Andrew Torba promoting replacement theology right after denying that he teaches it in this playlist, I also did a live stream not too long ago about Andrew Torba and how he promotes replacement theology. Link to this will be in the description box below. And over on my BitChute channel, I have this older video titled Gab CEO Andrew Torba Promotes the Postmillennialism Theology Heresy. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Torba, just like the majority of the Christian nationalist movement, he believes in and promotes replacement theology and postmillennialism theology, the two rank heresies that make up the core doctrinal foundation of the Christian nationalism movement. And because I believe their movement is powered by the spirit of the Antichrist, I believe their movement eventually will get power. And they're going to do horrible things with that power, just like the woke left has already done. But yeah, the fire in your bellies is rank heresy. And you're not speaking uncomfortable truths. You're speaking soothing lies that fall right in line with the Antichrist spirit. But let's continue to the paragraph that comes next, which is why we make this video today. And this is where the worldview of men like Seth Dillon completely collapses. They call us radicals and position themselves as the sensible center-right, the true conservatives. The reality, they are not to our right. On the only political spectrum that matters now, they are far, far to our left. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. According to Andrew Torba himself, he and his Christian nationalism ilk are so far right, they're so woke right, that Seth Dillon, by comparison, is far left. Woke left. So in that sense, Andrew Torba is accusing Seth Dillon of being woke left, and the way he does it is by saying that him and his ilk are so far right, they're so woke right, that Seth Dillon looks like he's far left, woke left, by comparison. That's a pretty stunning admission by Andrew Torba, who claims to be against the woke mind virus that took over the left, but now he embraces the right-wing version of it, Christian nationalism. And I'm convinced at this point that Andrew Torba is one of the thought leaders of the first wave of Christian nationalism. But let's watch Andrew Torba continue to wax poetic. They are the right wing of the globalist machine. Their function is not to win, but to fail gracefully, to provide the illusion of opposition while ensuring that nothing fundamental ever changes. They are the designated losers, and they are paid handsomely to make the game look real. Well, that's not what we saw in the 2024 election season. We actually saw woke leftism get destroyed in the ballot box. The majority of state governors currently are GOP. The majority of state congresses and senates around the country, GOP. The House of Representatives is majority GOP. The senators are mostly GOP. Most governors are GOP. President of the United States was the GOP nominee, Donald Trump. So no, Woke leftism did not work. And that's what made Matt Walsh saying that we need to copy the woke left and unite with our radicals. That's what made it completely mystifying. So the non-radical GOP right-wing position is what prevailed in the 2024 election season. But Andrew Torba sits here and claims that they actually didn't win, that we're just part of the globalist machine, and we just failed gracefully in this last election season. Total detachment from reality. But let's continue. So no, Mr. Dillon, we are not worried about bad actors on our right because the people you call bad actors are simply those who have correctly identified you as the enemy. You are the controlled opposition. You are the cancer, and we are the cure. By the way, Seth Dillon is a Jew, so by calling a Jewish man the enemy, not a good look, especially when it's a Jewish Christian guy who runs an incredibly popular satire site that makes fun of bad ideas no matter which side they're on. But let's continue. The cancer isn't the guy who's too edgy or too angry for their donor-friendly galas. The cancer on the right is the alien tribe that has taken the reins of the party for the exclusive benefit of their people and nation at the expense of our people and nation. It's the political class with a loyalty to a foreign land who wrap themselves in our flag only to sell off our sovereignty piece by piece. They send our sons to die in deserts to protect foreign borders while our own are hemorrhaging. They drain our treasury to fund a foreign military machine while our own infrastructure crumbles into rust. They scream isolationist and anti-Semite at anyone who suggests that maybe, just maybe, America's blood and treasure should be spent on American interests first. And if you haven't figured it out at this point, guys, the alien tribe that Andrew Torba is referring to is the Jews. And the nation that these people come from, that he's referring to, is Israel. Andrew Torba at this point is not even attempting to hide his anti-Semitic beliefs, which a few years ago, back when I was exposing him all the time, he would make comments like this, and then he would delete his posts that said all these things, and he would claim that, no, I never said that. Well, now he's not hiding it anymore. I find that a little bit refreshing and a little bit horrifying in one sense. Now, how do you think Andrew Torba and his Christian nationalist ilk would respond if you point out to them that they are fundamentally no different than the woke left? Well, Andrew Torba provides this answer in the following paragraph. Comparing us to the left is a fool's errand. The left is imploding because their radicalism is the logical, suicidal conclusion of their ideology. Our radicalism is the simple, healthy immune response of a nation that has decided it wants to live. We're not copying their playbook. We are performing the surgery they were too cowardly and conservatives were too polite to do for generations. Delusion personified. Oh, no, we're nothing like the left. They're imploding because their radicalism is the logical, suicidal conclusion of their ideology. But our ideology is different. No, it's very different. Our anti-Semitic bigotry, our belief in post-millennialism theology and replacement theology, well, that's just the healthy immune response of a nation that decided it wants to live. We're not copying the woke left's playbook. Actually, you are, because if you go to my Christian nationalism playlist, you see that the woke right previously attempted to cancel Babylon Bee founder Seth Dillon, and the reason why they attempted to cancel him is because one of their own threatened death towards him and actually got arrested by the feds for it, and so the woke right spun that to say, see, Seth Dillon is trying to get all of us censored for daring to speak out against him and his ilk. And they even accused him of inciting violence towards him. And now you got Andrew Torba saying that Seth Dillon is woke left when compared to him and his ilk. But in addition to all these heresies that Andrew Torba makes, he also at one point in the past wanted to build his own version of the Facebook metaverse, which ironically he accused the Facebook metaverse of being a satanic mind control device, and yet he wants to build his own version of this satanic mind control device in a total display of hypocrisy. Link to this video will be in the description box below if you want to know more. Then there was also the time when Andrew Torba talked about creating his own version of the World Economic Forum, which, according to him in the past, is just, a satanic globalist group that's attempting to usher in globalism on a global scale, basically bringing in the whole New World Order prison planet system. And yet Andrew Torba also wants to copy that satanic thing. That's really weird. So contrary to what Andrew Torba is trying to tell you here, him and his fellow Christian nationalists, the woke right, they are just like the woke left. They both believe in censorship. They both believe in cancel culture. They both believe that it's okay to threaten violence towards your political and religious opponents. They both want control of institutions in order to exert power over people, which is why Andrew Torba in the past has talked about building his own version of the Facebook metaverse, even though it's allegedly a satanic mind control device. And he's also talked about building his own version of the World Economic Forum, even though he's said disparaging things about that in the past. So yes, the woke left and the woke right are indistinguishable from each other in terms of their patterns of behavior and common beliefs that they have. But despite all of that, Andrew Torba's response is to say, well, the left's implosion is because the radicalism of the woke left is the logical suicidal conclusion of their ideology, but it'll be different with our radicalism because our radicalism goes the complete opposite direction, even though we have common behaviors with them. And we're not copying their playbook, even though you're literally, if your actions as a community, copying their playbook of censorship, cancel culture, wanting to take institutional control so that you can exert power over people who don't believe the same as you. You're just like the woke left, Andrew Torba. You and your ilk are exactly like them. You just call yourselves Christians, and you wear a mask of righteousness over your face. Which, oh yeah, that's right, the woke left believes that they're the righteous ones too. So, yeah, you're just like they are, Andrew Torba. You are exactly like they are. And I think we'll go ahead and leave things here. As we can see from this video, we have proven conclusively that Andrew Torba did indeed accuse Seth Dillon of being woke left because he says that him and his ilk are so far right that Seth Dillon is woke left by comparison. So we're just going to leave things here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. And if you haven't already, you guys need to join me on Creation Social. Creation Social recently, as you can see right here on the screen, got a complete reboot. It's gone from being a Facebook alternative to being a Twitter alternative that has feeds specific to topics. So if you're interested in joining a Twitter-like site that doesn't have all of the censorship that still occurs on Twitter, and you don't want to have to deal with all of the crazies that are on Twitter currently, I would encourage you to join Creation Social and start posting to Creation Social now. I would love to see you over here on Creation Social, where we will have the freedom of speech to be able to look at all of the insanity going on in our world, on the left side of the political aisle, on the right side of the political aisle, in the Christian world, outside the Christian world. We can look at all of this objectively and tell the truth about what's going on out there. Hopefully I'll see you on Creation Social, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.